Welcome to the channel and let's dive into today's news. MrBeast just made a crazy history. Rumors are swirling about Donald Trump's health after days out of sight. Yet another CEO got roasted online for a boneheaded move. Over 100 cremated. Remains were mysteriously discovered in the Las Vegas desert. And, for the first time ever, Putin, Xi Jinping, Modi, and Kim Jong-un are all in the same room. Yeah, all of that and more. So hit that subscribe button and let's go. First off, happy new month I guess. But beyond being the second day of the month, it was also the deadline for MrBeast's crazy goal, raising $40 million in just 31 days to bring clean water to millions. With just hours left, he jumped on a live stream and, boom, they hit the target. In fact, they didn't just hit it, they smashed it. Not only was this the biggest creator collab ever, with over 10,000 creators joining TEAMWATER, but the stream itself broke records, 18 hours long. $12 million raised live with Aiden Ross and XQC in the mix. And the final campaign total? $41.5 million in just a month. That means 20 million. People across more than 25 countries will now have clean water for decades. Life-changing stuff. And get this, MrBeast is even considering making a thank you video where he literally thanks all 10,000 creators who helped spread the word. That would be around 60 hours of footage. Probably insane, but hey, this is MrBeast we are talking about. Either way, if you liked, commented, donated, or shared anything about this campaign, pat yourself on the back. You just changed millions of lives. Big WS all around. Meanwhile, over in China, something wild is happening. The biggest gathering of world leaders we've seen in a long time. Russia, China, Iran, India, Pakistan, Turkey, Vietnam, North Korea, all in one place for the SCO summit. That's more than 3 billion people represented. India's PM is in China for the first time in 7 years. Kim Jong-un, who barely ever leaves his country, is attending his first multilateral meeting ever. And yes, it's the first time Xi, Putin, Modi, and Kim are all under the same roof. Already, we've seen India and China restart direct flights after 5 years and talk about building a more multipolar world order. Putin is expected to meet with Turkey about Ukraine and Iran about nuclear talks. She took a few shots at the US, accusing them of bullying practices, and pledged billions in grants and loans to SCO members. Clearly, they're tightening ties. And you have to wonder if US tariffs are pushing them closer together. Back in the US, rumors are running wild. Is Donald Trump dead? Was literally trending online. Why? Because he went 3 weekdays in a row without public appearances, which is unusual for him. Plus the White House said he'd be spending Labor Day weekend with family and staying out of the spotlight. Add that to recent concerns about his health, the bruised hands, swollen legs, whispers about 4 drips through his hand. But really, the speculation for all of that is not evidence-based. It's kind of just you see it. You put 2 and 2 together, and you make up a theory. Trump posted on Truth Social saying, "I've never felt better in my life." Now, as a recording, Monday the 1st, he still hasn't had a public appearance. And yes, there was those images and videos of him going to play golf. But that was pretty far away. And people are like, okay, so he's alive. But that doesn't answer the question, is he in good health? So I guess ultimately, what do you guys think? Are people just way overhyping this to create drama, or are the circumstances sus and it's fair for people to be questioning it? Let me know in the comments. But moving on. Also, since we last spoke, yet another CEO has made a fatal mistake. So on Thursday night, a very famous Polish player was signing autographs for fans and even attempted to give his cap to this young boy in the crowd. That is when a fully grown man snatches it to the disbelief of the boy. And then he hides it in his partner's bag. What the hell? Oh, and let me tell you, that was such a big mistake. Because as soon as this clip went viral, not only did the internet find his identity somehow, I'd love to know how they even do this. And then they proceeded to absolutely scorch him online. But they also found out that he is a CEO of a paving business. Oh God, it's what a bad year for CEOs. And then they found that business and then they started raining down hellfire on it in the form of bad reviews. Now, the CEO, who is from Poland, has since deactivated all of his social media accounts. And according to the tennis player Camille, he said that he'd reached out to the boy to apologize to him and his family. And just when you're getting all hopped up, this actually has really nice ending to it. Because instead of the boy just getting the hat, Camille went out of his way to find him and not only give him a replacement, but also other gifts. Now, there are some posts circulating online that have tens of millions of views, claiming to be the official response of this CEO. This statement. But I looked into it and there is absolutely no verification that this is genuine and it comes from him. So pinch of salt. But I think the moral of this whole situation is if you are a CEO watching this in 2025, just lay low. Just don't do anything dangerous. Don't do anything in front of camera. It's not your year. Moving on. Okay, this next story is absolutely wild. And it feels like the plot of a Netflix series because the cremated remains of over 100 people has mysteriously been found in the middle of the Las Vegas desert and nobody knows why. Now, this creepy site was discovered when someone stumbled across the piles of ashes by accident. And according to some sources, they've even found pulverized bones and what appears to be burnt flesh. Yeah. And so they reported this to a local news station. The police are now investigating. And authorities, when they actually went and looked themselves, they found pieces of zip ties and a broken urn at the scene. Now, before your mind starts running wild, there are a couple of theories around what's going on. Some people are saying that it's probably just a lazy or poorly run crematorium and they've just decided to dump the ashes. You know, just in the middle of the desert. Just go away. But then also, there's a lot more dark speculation, which maybe we'll just wait for this to get a little bit further before we talk about that stuff. But no confirmation as to what's going on with this whole situation. But when we do get a bit more reasonably verified information, I'll keep you guys updated. Moving on. Also, since we last spoke, everyone needs to know what's happening in Indonesia right now because over the last week, the country is seeing possibly the worst public violence that they've had in decades with huge clashes between protesters and authorities. And while it started as fairly peaceful demonstrations organized by students, the situation escalated after a 21-year-old ride-sharing driver was run over and killed by a police armored truck. And so the protest turned into riots. City council buildings were set on fire. Fireworks were set off in the streets and even homes of government officials have been looted. Many people part of these protests say that they are fed up with these leaders, who completely feel out of touch to the common everyday struggles. I mean, things got so crazy that TikTok themselves even had to temporarily suspend live features in the entire country due to all of these protests and violence being streamed on live. Now in response, authorities have bumped up security in several cities, and they've also started using tear gas and force to disperse crowds. As a result of these protests, so far 8 people have lost their lives. Now, the reason they are so angry right now is because the government's recent decision to grant MPs a pretty expensive new housing allowance, which was widely seen in the country as exorbitant, given Indonesia. They're facing a pretty harsh economic climate right now. But the truth is that this housing allowance was kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back, because frustration in the country has been brewing for years, not just over the past few weeks. Indonesians say that they watch officials live lavishly on these big salaries while ordinary people are struggling with rising costs, low wages, little support, and government corruption. I mean, how many times have we seen this in multiple different countries in the last few years? And so now that anger is spilling out into the streets, turning years of frustration into loud demands for change. But of course, this is a developing situation. So, let me know your guys' thoughts and I'll keep you guys updated. Moving on. And then for our last story of the day. This right here is the most peaceful country of 2025. Right here is the most peaceful country of 2025. So over the weekend, the annual Global Peace Index was released. And so like every year, let's start with the Our World's Least Peaceful countries of 2025. We have Yemen, DRC, Sudan, Ukraine, and then Russia in dead last for the first time ever. Well, since this report, at least because ever's a stretch. And then on the complete other end of the list, we have Switzerland in 5th, Austria in 4th, New Zealand taken bronze, Ireland in 2nd, and then Iceland is this year's most peaceful country. And I feel like it's been the most peaceful country for quite a few years now. Canada, you are in 14th place. The UK, we are in 30th. China, 98th. South Africa, 124th. And actually just 4 places below South Africa. Yes, I said below South Africa is the United States. And then 21 places below them is North Korea, to put it all in perspective. But what do you guys think? Do you live in a peaceful country? Do you live in a non-peaceful country? Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and where your country ranked. But I think that's a wrap. Love you guys and see you in the next. But click on that subscribe button even as you comment.